All right, and welcome to the first edition of the Space Treasure Coast edition of the Blitz here. Josh Wilson here with Christopher Like. Good evening. Sorry we're a little bit behind on our schedule that we wanted to be on here to start off, but you know, it's preseason week, shaking the rust off of all the nuts and bolts here of everything and all that. And I'll bring Chris in here, unmute his mic. And Chris, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. Now we got all the kinks out of the way, I hope.
Yeah, I hope so too. And it sounds like we got all the audio settings, I think, are now correct here. And I think I'm not having that echo here that we had on the last show, on the first show that we did, the Southwest Florida Blitz. Good evening. I'm Josh Wilson. That's Christopher Like over there. And momentarily, we are going to have head coach Billy Miller of the Bayside Bears on with us. I appreciate him being able to pinch hit and come in for an interview here on the Space and Treasure Coast edition of the Blitz. And we definitely are very much appreciative of everything that is going on here. And with that said and everything, but I think first we're gonna kind of flip around. Usually we would do the Blitz Lines here and everything like that, but then we're gonna really actually kind of just do and roll here with everything and go with that here as we roll along here. And I think we'll do the Blitz Lines after we do the interview here, so it's gonna be kind of a backwards a little bit here in terms of how we do the show. Normally we would do the Blitz Lines first, then do the interview, but you know, we don't want to keep coach around waiting forever and all that. So with that said, Chris, you know, just kind of just real quick before we do talk to Coach Billy Miller, you know, we talked about the Sunshine State Athletic Association a little bit in the Southwest Florida Blitz, and then the same thing will be happening here with Bayside. Bayside's part of that with the Atlantic League, and the SSA has had a lot of, and I mean a ton of growth here in the last few years, and I mean there's some exciting changes, which, by the way, just to kind of prelude to tomorrow night, we will have Gage Brown and Zachary Schenk from the Sunshine State Athletic Association on our North Central Florida Blitz to talk about all the exciting changes and growth there for 2025.
It'll be very interesting to see how the Sunshine Athletic Association get progressed over the next couple of years. I'm very excited to see it.
No, absolutely, and we definitely appreciate everybody that's joining us here. If you got a comment, you can just put it there in the live chat. Now, I will say this. I did notice this. It's on X. You actually have to go into the show, view the show, then comment for us to see the comments pop up on the chat. Otherwise, we will never see your comment because it'll be floating out there somewhere in X land. So that's what we've got to say there on that particular part. But Chris, let's go ahead and do this. We're going to kind of skip it around here a little bit here as we go into our interview. We will bring in head coach Billy Miller in here. And good evening to you, Coach. I appreciate you taking the time pitch hitting for us here and being able to agree to come on for an interview on short notice. And Coach, man, Bayside, I know that y'all have been working on improving the program there over the last few years. Talk about first, just kind of give us insights of what you've been able to do at Bayside, what you're wanting to do, and and talk about the team's transition over the last couple of years, going from being an FHA district to being in the Sunshine State Athletic Association's Atlantic League, because I know that that was a change for y'all. But I feel like for y'all looking at it, it was the best change for y'all in that sense.
Yes, appreciate you guys having me tonight and featuring our guys. The reason we went to the SSAA is we just thought that was the best thing for our kids for that moment in time. But we were kind of looking long term down the road, and what we want to do is provide our guys a positive football high school experience, and that we thought that that was the best way to do that, to kind of level the playing field and get us in some situations where we can be more competitive.
No, absolutely, and just talk about with that because in Brevard County, I know it's quite a few high schools down there and everything, and it's, when we talk about, it's a big county, in terms of the stretch of it's 90 miles north to south. It's not big in terms of going east to west, but I mean, y'all are in the southern end, and you got other schools down there. So, I mean, how do you work that in terms of all this to be able to keep kids there at Bayside and not deflect to other programs in that south part of the county that are that basically are that have done well year in, year out, whereas you're trying to build a program up, you're trying to build a culture.
Right. Well, the climate of high school football has changed tremendously in the past 5 or 6 years. And we don't worry about what's going on outside our building. We're trying to, like you said before, we're trying to build a culture and provide an opportunity that's best for our kids. And, we're not going to go chase kids around. We're not trying to keep people. We're going to do things the right way. And hopefully by us doing things the right way, the people are going to see the value in that. The kids are going to see the value in that. They're going to get great coaching. They're going to get, they're going to care about them more as people than we do about football players. And that's what's important to us. We're committed to the 23, the 25-year-old version of our kids, and hopefully that investment we make in them, and having those relationships is what's going to give us some staying power on what we do.
I'm sure Chris has got a question here for you.
Talk about some of the players you have on your team. I know you've got a pretty good senior laden team. And you're going through a good transition period from going from a winless team to a five team last year. Talk about instilling that winning culture at Bayside.
Right. Well, our goal this year is to win more than we lose and to make a little bit deeper run in the playoffs. I mean, we play a competitive schedule for us, and we've got a group of young guys that have worked their tails off since last January or this January to get things where we want it to be. And obviously the job's not done yet, but we're rowing that boat in the right direction. We've got our two top returning running backs are coming back from last year's group. So we're going to lean heavily on those guys. We got a couple of newcomers in some different positions. Jaden Taylor, Javier Graham, both those guys are going to play receiver and probably defensive back for us. We're going to have several two-way guys. And our biggest question mark obviously is going to be on the line of scrimmage. We believe in our weight room. We believe in building at the line of scrimmage. So that's the biggest question we're going to have to answer this year. So we're going to lean heavily on these running backs to kind of get us rolling until that offensive line, defensive line learns to play together and gain some confidence in themselves.
Oh, absolutely. And Coach, let's talk about the schedule here for this year. Y'all get started right out of the gate here in week 0. You got St. Edward's you're up on the clock first. Talk about that, because with the the scheduling, being able to start playing a game that counts a week ahead of most of your other the teams that are there in Brevard County. I know there's a couple other programs like Space Coast that is part of the SSA Atlantic as well, and then I know that the Atlantic League is growing itself. So I mean, talk about that growth here and what the SSA is doing. Especially the fact that it's going to be going to a 16-team playoff bracket this year for the first time.
Well, I think a lot of people are seeing the value in that because they want to do what we're doing and provide an opportunity to give our kids a positive high school football experience. I mean, nearly almost a quarter of Brevard County is going to the SSAA right now. And when we're talking about St. Edward's, Coach Schofield does a phenomenal job down there with his guys. He's got a smaller program as far as number of kids, but he's ultra disciplined. Those kids are going to play tough. They're not going to make a whole lot of mistakes. And they're going to do everything they need to do to win football games. So it's going to be a good test for us, and hopefully we'll be up to it.
Absolutely, and with that said, with the expansion of the playoff bracket, I mean, do you feel like by the time the playoffs roll around, y'all will be in that top 8 for the South and being able to have a chance to play some teams that you may not necessarily see?
Well, that's the plan. We hope so. I mean, we played a really good team in Frostproof in the first round last year, and you know, went toe to toe with him. Coach Morris does a phenomenal job, class act guy down there, and you know, it was good for our kids to see, hey, this is the kind of program you need to model yourself after, and it was good for us to see and experience that. But we felt like that we could build on that coming into this fall, and that's kind of what drove us in the summer months.
Oh, absolutely. Chris, you got any questions here?
Yeah, they say you learn a lot from losing. What's some of the messages you give your team when you come out with a loss and show that winning culture?
Well, we went through a 4-game losing streak last year, and we just kept trusting in what we were doing, and more importantly, and what you saw at the end of the year, the kids trusted each other, and that's what we're building is a culture of trust and relationships, and these kids love each other. And you know, if they didn't trust and love each other, we could have fell flat on our face last year, and it'd have been a lot like our first year over there. But they learned their lessons. They kept fighting together, and again, you know, just leaned on each other, and knew that's what they had to do to get through it.
No, absolutely. And Coach, I mean, at this particular point is, you know, real quick, you know, to talk about the with everything with culture and everything, but coaching, you know, and especially the way things have evolved here, you know, for y'all in terms of coaches pay in this state. I mean, how do you approach that with your peers, you know, talking about this? Because I know that there's been a lot going on, and you know, I'm just kind of curious to hear the thoughts of other coaches, especially with the fact that, you know, with what the Florida Coaches Coalition's been doing. I know that there's some things that, you know, potentially, but I mean, you know, especially with the fact that, you know, y'all put a lot of hours in. I mean, I know you've done a lot here, so talk about that just in that sense of, you know, what's you know, everything that's gone here in the Sunshine State.
Right. Well, obviously, we'd like to get compensated because, you know, myself and all my peers work tireless hours, but to a man, most of them don't do it for money. You don't get into education for the money. You get into education for the kids. And, you know, without exception, most of the guys that that are my counterparts at other schools, that's why they do this. It's not about the money. Obviously, it'd be nice to have that, and it takes a little bit of stress off the families. But, you know, this is a labor of love for all of us. And, you know, hopefully we'll get some things turned around. But, you know, it costs most of us to coach. By the time we pump our own money into it, feeding kids, you know, driving, I mean, I've got a 45-minute drive one way every day to work. And we've been going 6 a.m. practices, which we'll do all throughout the year. So, you know, we're up at 3:30, 4:45. Coaching staff is up at the school getting ready for practice every day. And, you know, you can't put a price tag on that because it shows the commitment that they have to the kids in our program.
No, absolutely. And, you know, you mentioned 6 a.m. practice. Is that how y'all been beating the heat?
Well, we lost 8 practices last year to either the wet blood test or lightning. So we figured, well, shoot, we got to get these things in. And we wanted to test the dedication of our kids. And they actually, we get more focus out of them. They're locked in. They're fresh. They're not coming out of class at 3:45, 4 o'clock, and we're going out where it's 102. I mean, we get them fresh and focused, which, you know, the teachers might not be quite as happy with me about it, but hopefully we can use that as motivation to keep them locked in and keep them doing the right things. But it's been really good for us. I was hesitant to do it at first, and my staff and I, we kicked it around all summer. I talked to a couple other coaches that do it. Coach Panucci does it over from Mel, and I've been his ear for several hours over the summer, just, you know, picking his brain and getting ideas of how to make this thing work. And it's been great for our kids, and it gives them kind of a life outside of football because we demand a lot out of them. And, you know, they know, hey, at 6 to 8 o'clock, we're going to get practice in, and in the afternoon, you got to go get a part-time job. You got to go get tutoring for English or a science class. You know, there's no problem. They feel like they have a little bit more free time, even though it's the same amount of time. It's been real positive for us, and our kids have been truly dedicated to it.
Oh, absolutely. And Coach, definitely wish y'all the best of luck here for the Bears this year. Week 0, I should say, opener coming up at home against St. Edwards. And Coach, definitely wish y'all the best of luck as y'all get the season going here. And thank you for taking a quick time and on short notice to be here on the Blitz edition of For the Space and Treasure Coast here on FloydHSFootball.com. Appreciate it, Coach.
We appreciate it. Go Bears.
All right, thank you very much. And that was head coach Billy Miller joining us here on the Space and Treasure Coast edition of the Blitz, and we appreciate him again being able to take the time quite on short notice to be able to. For our original interview that we had scheduled, we were going to have Ryan Schneider on from Coco, and kind of the chance basically that Chris was able to reach out to Coach Billy Miller, and we got him on tonight instead, and definitely appreciate him being on here as well. And Emery Smith says good luck to the Bayside Bears this season. So there you go. You got any thoughts, Chris?
Yeah, I really like what Bayside's doing. I think they got a great future, and I'm excited to see what they do in the next couple of years.
No, absolutely, and I think that's going to be really awesome to see what they do here as well. But Chris, we're going to have to roll here quickly as we with the interview going a little longer. We're just going to go into our Blitz Lines. We're going to kind of go back up here a little bit here as we roll along. All right, that is me. I just literally lost everything there, Chris.
Yeah, I know.
Chris, you there?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I know.
I don't know what happened because we just went to fiber optic. We're on fiber optic internet now, and it's not coming saying that I have lost upload speed. It may be something with my computer. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm taking an echo from my end.
That's interesting. I can hear it. I think it might be through your speaker. Is your microphone on your headset?
No.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Yeah. Oh, the blue microphone. There you go. So, I don't know why. Maybe there's a delay on audio feed. I'm gonna have to figure that out here as we roll along here. So, but it's good to see Emery Smith here chatting in the comment box here as well. And maybe I have some processes open that I'm trying to go ahead and just kick the processes out. We'll work on that here as we roll along here, Chris. But as we roll along here. Some kickoff classics that we've got some interesting kickoff classics. I know that this weekend down in Vero Beach there's going to be a few games, and a couple of them involving Miami New Orleans going to be playing Vero Beach, but there's a game that doesn't involve two area teams, but we'll talk about it later on, especially on the next show, South Florida Blitz. Miami Northwestern and is going to be playing Lakeland there at Vero Beach's Citrus Bowl Stadium.
Yeah, a lot of you go from region to region. There's a lot of great kickoff flats. You go down the line and you can pick and choose.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can really pick up and choose what you want to do, what you want to have, and actually, we're still on the thing. We'll bring that up here and all as well, but. With that said, there's a lot to pick and choose from. I know, you get the games that are going to be, really, let's just be focused on. Let me pull that up here real quick as we roll along here to do this real quick here because still trying to work out all the kinks and bugs. I apologize, everybody. We're trying to do this. We're trying to do this right, but I thought I had all the kinks and bugs worked out, but I guess sometimes until you go live, you don't know what other kinks are sitting there lurking around trying to haunt you on preseason. Oh, I don't know if you can hear still, Chris, or not.
No, I don't know.
Huh? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, no, the bugs and stuff. But sorry, I'm just trying to, because I don't know if I think there's a delay maybe on your end here that as I talk to you, I think it's there's like a 5 or 10 second delay, which we'll have to try to figure out why we're having that delay here to you because you should be hearing me in real time.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out myself, and trying to figure that out myself.
No, absolutely. But as we look at the kickoff classes here, here's another one, a big one that is going to happen. Brevard at Cocoa. That is going to be Friday night. That'll be a big one right there as well. And then, of course, we've got Treasure Coast going to Lake Wells. There's a couple other ones that I think stand out in terms of when I'm looking at it. Kind of interested to see how Melbourne Central Catholic and Lake Brantley goes. That'll want to be more focused on in the Central Florida Blitz. But interesting enough, there's going to be like a jamboree. Fort Pierce, Westwood, Haggerty at New Smyrna Beach. That'll be an interesting jamboree there. Fort Pierce Central showed some improvement last year. They'll be going to Merritt Island. So quite a few games there on the Space Coast and Treasure Coast slate as we get the season going as toe meets leather here, Chris.
Yeah, Space Coast and Treasure Coast. That'll be a great matchup.
No, absolutely. And Chris, let's go into our pick six here, because I feel like, honestly, with that said, going into the pick six, we really got to kind of roll here with this. Trying to get used to these controls here a little bit. There we go. Going way too far. With that said, let's hit the pick six here. We only have a few games in this pick six for this week here in the Space and Treasure Coast. That's because, there's not as many games in the region, but we will have a full slate of 6 games for the Space and Treasure Coast each and every week during the season as we roll along here. And Chris, we do have 3 games on our slate here for the pick six here in this one. And as we roll along here, with that said, let's roll into it with pick six game number 1, Masters Academy at Santa Fe Catholic. So they're going to be making a little bit of a road trip over to Lakeland to play Santa Fe Catholic. But this one's interesting in terms of what the picks are, I feel like, in this situation here. But I honestly, with the forecasted line from the Florida Power Rankings Index and with the win probability, again, the win probability is something that is part of the premium season ticket subscription or the monthly season ticket subscription. We bring 6 of those into the show here for each of the shows this season in showing the win probabilities. The forecasted lines, they are available for free each and every week on FloorDSFootball.com. Now, there's also a projected score. You got to subscribe to see that. We're not showing that on here, but we'll show you the win probability. And as we roll into this one, Masters Academy is an 18-point favorite over Santa Fe Catholic with a 94% chance for Masters Academy to win. This is the other Masters Academy that is moving up from 8-man to 11-man football, but has done very, very well over the last few years. Chris, what are you thinking here?
I think this can be a lot closer than the spread thinks. I still think Masters Academy is going to win it, but I wouldn't be surprised if Santa Fe Catholic wins the
thing. So you like that? So you think that 6% chance in the chance of winning is much higher?
Yeah.
So are you going Masters or are you going Santa Fe here?
I'm going Masters.
All right. Our guy Reno takes Masters Academy as well in this situation here as we roll along here in terms of our second game here of the pick six, and that is going to be St. Edward's at Bayside. This one's interesting because St. Edward's played in a preseason kickoff classic this past Friday and got blown out by Jupiter Christian. And, after hearing about that, I'm kind of wondering about this. But, again, we're just using analytical data here at this particular point to start off the season with scheduling and all that. St. Edward's a 17-point favorite over Bayside. We're giving St. Edward's a 93% chance here to win this game. Bayside, 7%. I'm kind of going to want to go against my computer here on this one.
Yeah, I am too. I'm thinking Bayside's going to win the thing.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Bayside as well, but Reno is going with St. Ed's here on this one for week number 1 here in terms of week 0, I should say. I'm saying week 1 because it's our first show, but it's really week 1 here, week 0 here. So as we roll along here with that. And our third and final game out of the pick six for this week is, that's not the game that I wanted right there. Let me see what's going on here. I'll figure out here what's the situation here. I may have put it in, and let me see what's going on here. Why? I don't have it. So hold on 1 second, everybody, as we get it figured out here in terms of the why I don't all of a sudden have my third game here. But our third game, I can tell you, is this. This is Merritt Island Christian at Academy at the Lakes here, and I'm going to figure out where I may have put that game here because I was popping them in, and I don't know if it may have disappeared on me, and I'm going to see. Nope, that is not it. I don't know where I may have put it here in our... nope, it's not. It has disappeared on me, Chris.
A wonderful world of technology. Wonderful world of technology.
Yeah, indeed, and it really is that. So with that said, in this 8-man game, I'm just going to kind of read it off here in terms of the spreads here in a moment here to y'all here as we roll along here. But Chris, give me some thoughts here on this one with Merritt Island Christian and at Academy at the Lakes. This is an 8-man football game that we've got here for this week.
Merritt Island Christian's been a good program over the last couple of years. I still think they're going to win this thing very comfortably. Very comfortably.
No, absolutely. I think that's going to be the case here, in my opinion. Merritt Island Christian is a 19-point favorite over Academy at the Lakes here in this one. And as I'm going to pull up, because I have to somehow, I am not logged in onto my site on my phone here, so I will have to go get this logged in here. Hopefully I can get it logged in here and get in now. So it's gonna fight with me now. Gotta love it. Real-time TV, right, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see what's going on here so I can give you all the win probability, because it was I think it's not. Now if I can get in here, I'll have it for y'all here, and let's go with that here. Okay, hold on 1 second. We've got it here. Give me 1 second. We're just gonna get it up here real quick here, because we'll have to turn around real quick and get ready for our next show. That is the South Florida Blitz here. All right, so week 0 probability here on this one as we talk about Merritt Island Christian Academy likes the computer is giving Merritt Island Christian a 95% chance to win this game, Chris.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So you're going Merritt Island Christian here.
Yes.
And Reno is going with Merritt Island Christian here. So we actually have a difference in our picks here in this one. So we do have one pick that where we could go sideways on, or it could be sideways for somebody here. But well, with that said, but we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up here, Chris. Any final thoughts here as we roll along here and get ready for our South Florida Blitz show?
You know, just looking forward to seeing how this week shapes up, especially with Bayside going. Starting their season this week.
No, absolutely. All right, we'll be back here in just a few minutes for our South Florida edition of the Blitz here. We definitely appreciate everybody tuning us in here. We'll be back. We'll be on track here for next week here with everything on the shows. We'll be on our normal time here as we get rolling here for the season. Appreciate everybody joining us here. We thank you, and we'll see you on our next show, the South Florida Blitz, coming up here in just a few minutes here on 4HSFootball.com.